Come on, Gargoyle. Do you want to go take something?
So after he declares he's the second ascension, this is where chapter 59, the Requiem aura, starts up at. And Evianna is absolutely confused as to why Volke is protecting her. And I mean, Volke's a good guy anyways, so I don't think it would have mattered whether he made a promise to Lyvia or not, but I think he's just a good guy to begin with.
Also, she's a princess.
Okay.
You're kind of a big deal.
I guess just so that you guys owe us a favor. So again, I love knightmare, or I guess I love Luther quotes. Layshl actually gives us quite a few good quotes herself, and she says that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's a determination to act even when fear permeates your very being. I don't know who started teaching her the steps of the pillar of Ruma, but like she already knows what's going on.
Queen Valletta apparently spent some time on the island getting to know the pillar, so
I bet Volke is secretly like, yes, somebody knows the pillar. If it wasn't life or death situation right now, he would be totally nerding out about the pillar of Ruma.
He would be. He'd be fangirling real hard.
She does give us another quote. A true knight understands that strength and excellence aren't traits. They're outcomes. They're the result of courage. They're what happens when you choose to risk, protect, or push forward, even when it seems like you might not succeed. And then where's Luther in all this? Like, it's been a while now that Luther has been gone. Like, I feel like Luther should have, I don't know, maybe tried to come back to Volke and be like, hey, I'm here, like, let's do this.
Find him somewhere. He's running around the halls yelling for him.
I mean, he's a dang shadow in the middle of the eclipse aura. He should be able to find him pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's all powerful at that point.
So Volke shadow steps with Evianna to get to the ground. And again, he's injured. He's tired as dog as all get out. He's been running up and down stairs. I think the only thing saving him right now is the eclipse aura. I'm sure if that wasn't happening, he probably wouldn't be able to stand. And the whole time, making sure Layshl doesn't get close to him because he's bleeding. We don't want him to get his plague blood on her now. Finally managed to escape into a hedge maze as the King Basilisk and the Sovereign Dragon are fighting in the throne room. And this is where Fain meets up with Volke and Evianna. And Volke gives Fain 3 of the runestones. And Fain reiterates that Volke is way too trusting.
100% agree.
Like, I know Fain has turned a leaf here, turned the corner. But after everything that just happened, really? You're gonna let him have them?
His decision. That's all I'll say. His decision.
Volke must be Canadian or something, eh?
Yeah. He really is. He's too good. We also very coolly, in addition to the King Basilisk and the dragon fighting, there's another King Basilisk that shows up because Zelfrey has taken the form.
And this is just badass. Like, which one's the right one to be attacking? Which one's the wrong one? Zelfrey's probably just going ham on everybody as much as he can.
Yeah, that's taking advantage of an opportunity because he's going to have some fun with that one.
Oh yeah. Like, you got to give everything a test drive, you know? Like, you don't get this opportunity very often. That's like somebody offering you to, drive a Ferrari or some shit like that, and you go 25 miles an hour the whole time. Like, you let that thing sing. So, as Fain, Volke, and Evianna are getting away from things through the maze, they end up to the front of the castle, essentially, where the Grandmaster Inquisitor is, and he is just wrecking people. He's got his eclipse aura up. He's got shadow chains and hooks going. And then all of a sudden, Volke's heartbeat begins to beat really irregularly and out of rhythm. And this is the Requiem aura that Fain tells us about. And this is something to do specifically with the King Basilisks. And as more death occurs in the aura, the more powerful that the King Basilisk Arcanist gets. And Akiva his main goal is to get the Grandmaster Inquisitor. So they start to fight. And Akiva is just way too swift for the Grandmaster. And this is mainly because of the Requiem aura. Like, we know that a lot of the people that were there to assist the second ascension and getting the runestones and all this other stuff, like I guarantee they were brought along so that they could die, so that they could power this Requiem aura even more.
Some cannon fodder.
Exactly. Let's pump these numbers up, you know?
Yeah, those are rookie numbers.
So Vercingetorix ends up dying to the King Basilisk. This is one of those moments where we get to see the Grandmaster in true, just like badass mode. Like, he's fighting the King Basilisk. He's fighting the scoundrels from the castle. He's letting the innocents flee. He's fighting Akiva, maintaining his eclipse aura, and trying to avoid getting hit with this venom from Akiva. And it's just one dude doing all this.
Beast mode.
So, unfortunately, he does make a mistake. He does slip, and some of that venom does end up landing on him and his knightmare. And because they are combined, they always live and die as one. And unfortunately, a few drops hit him in the shoulder or in the gauntlet, I believe, and he ends up dying. And we get this confirmed when the eclipse aura goes away. Fain does offer to help Volke, and Fain, we can see, really has turned a corner. Not only did Volke give Fain the runestones, and Fain just about being like, "You're a freaking idiot for giving me these."
You know I was a pirate, right?
Exactly. But we get to see that Fain has really truly turned a corner in his life. He's no longer going to be a pirate. He doesn't run off with the runestones, but he also is helping Volke and Evianna get out of there. And Volke ends up pushing Fain and Evianna out of the way from the poison, and Volke blocks it with his shield. And this is where Evianna's tired of watching. She's tired of everybody protecting her. She's tired of her sister. You know, obviously her sister's not there to protect her anymore, but she's tired of everybody else putting their lives on the line for her. So she demands that she is going to protect Volke now. Zelfrey and Traces are still fighting the King Basilisk as King Basilisks themselves, and they end up turning Akiva's attention back to the fight at hand, thankfully. And then another amazing Layshl quote is, "True knights are hard to find, Evianna. The blood that created my shadow is one of your kin. If it's your goal to protect your allies and avenge those with no means to seek justice, I would be honored if you became my arcanist." And Evianna ends up bonding with Layshl. This is one of those, it's not significant just because she's bonding to a knightmare. It's not significant only because she's underage per what they are. I think 15 is the age of an adult. She's a few years too young still. But the fact that Evianna just bonded with her Oma's knightmare is just one of those, like, it sent shivers down my back.
Yeah, it's a great moment.
With that is the end of this week's episode, with a quick reminder that John Stovall will be our guest next week for an interview. Again, he has his own RPG series. He has several series actually in that genre of books. We're so excited to talk to him. We do want to thank everybody for listening. We post every Wednesday morning around 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 8 Pacific. In that we are on all podcasting platforms along with YouTube. So kind of catch us wherever you want. If you want to watch us on video or listen to us in person, Dan Mackison, who is our editor, does a very great job at adding pictures and links to things. So if you want to watch the YouTube, it does have some cool pictures in there. He throws in there for us. So if you want to reach out, you can get us at Gmail at frithguildpod@gmail.com, or reach out to us on Facebook or pretty much any other social media at Frith Guild Podcast. We want to thank the Frith Chronicles Wiki, and that is such a great resource. I know there's going to be a lot of updates coming to it soon whenever the bestiary comes out, so just be on the lookout for that. And Scott, do you have anything else you wanted to add to it?
No, excited to talk to John and get a little more insight into this family of writers.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks all for listening, and we'll see you next week.